Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you inside the bowels, if you will, of the Footprint Center here in downtown Phoenix, Arizona. Current temperature 118 degrees outside. It might be 119 by now, Ed, but it's nice and cool in here, and we've got a lot of Wranglers football action coming your way here on the Northern Arizona Wranglers YouTube channel. James Poovey, alongside my broadcast partner, Mr. Ed Cole. You're looking live at a field-level concourse shot there just outside the Wranglers locker room, where you'll see our guys coming out here in just a little bit. So we're very excited to welcome you here inside the Footprint Center this evening. Let's get off of that shot right there. And Footprint Center. Ed, it's going to be an exciting Western Conference matchup tonight. We got some very special guests joining us as well. Mrs. Mangan joining us all the way from Ireland, and we're going to have her and her son on here, Connor's brother, at halftime. And it's going to be an exciting evening of football.
We were already down on the field talking to the players, just kind of getting a feel for what this game is going to be tonight, and it has a definite playoff atmosphere feel, folks. As you, if you're IFL fans, if you're Wranglers or Rattlers fans, you know what the implication of this game is. These two teams could very well play each other in this very building next weekend, JP. So we could be here a week from today, doing pregame, halftime, and postgame for round 4 of Wranglers and Rattlers.
You know, anything is possible, Ed, in this IFL Western Conference. As we've seen over the last couple seasons, things remain tight, especially down the stretch here. And it's going to be that way once again here this season as we close out the regular season here tonight inside the Footprint Center.
And there's a lot on the line on this football game. With a win, if the Wranglers should win tonight, and should Green Bay go to Tucson tonight, which they'll kick off at the same time that we kick off, should Green Bay beat Tucson and the Wranglers beat the Rattlers, they will elevate to the number 3 seed. Northern Arizona would, and then they would go to San Jose to take on Bay Area. But should the Wranglers lose tonight and Tucson wins, they would keep that number 3 seed, and the Wranglers would come back here next week in the Footprint Center to take on the Rattlers.
There is indeed a lot to be determined here tonight inside the Footprint Center and throughout the country here tonight in the Unit Football League. It's really exciting, and the Wranglers have to take care of business on the football field. They really can't, as we said last week, they can't worry about any of that other stuff.
Exactly. Just go out and execute today. It's going to be a tough one. As I'm looking at Drew Powell right now in the warm-ups, he's just completed a pass to Jamal Miles in the warm-ups. This kid is electrifying, and he is even more electrifying in his own building. So it's going to be a severe test for the defense, and depending on who starts at quarterback, whether it's Nick Watson or Garrett Kettle, it's going to be a severe test for them because this Rattlers defense is outstanding.
We got some viewers tuning in. James Dutch, let's go Wranglers. We're excited. It's going to be a fun matchup here tonight. We also had the pleasure of visiting with Jared Ware Jr. A little bit earlier, and I got his perspective on the game here tonight. So after we take a short commercial timeout here on the Northern Arizona Wranglers pregame show, we'll return with that interview with Mr. Jared Ware Jr. as we get you prepared for your Wranglers against those Arizona Rattlers. Stay with us here tonight. A pivotal, is this week 15 matchup here in
18.
the IFL? Week
18.
18.
Yes.
Unbelievable. It's gone by so fast. It seems like it goes faster every single year. So we'll step aside and take a brief commercial timeout, and when we return, we will visit with Jared Ware Jr., and then we'll get you back down to field level as the Wranglers get ready to take the field here inside the Footprint Center. Stay with us here on the Wranglers YouTube channel for more pregame show.
That's funny. Desert School's changed their name.
Yeah, now it's Desert Financial.
Alice Cooper! Wait, what are you doing here?
I'm telling everyone, school's out.
For summer?
Forever.
Whoa! Whoa! Dude, put your card in.
You got a voice, Molly. Use it. Do it for the phone.
Let's do it for the phone. They do so much for you. When I'm out there all alone, there's something we can do. T-Mobile, look at these maps, they don't lie.
We welcome you back to the Northern Arizona Wranglers pregame show. James Poovey coming to you live here alongside my broadcast partner, Mr. Ed Cole. Ed, we got some offensive weapons and some of those athletes that we always like to talk to. And one of those guys joining us here this evening, Mr. Jared Ware, running back, athlete, call him what you will. This guy does a lot of everything for our football team.
Absolutely. Jared, we appreciate you joining us in advance of the Rattlers game tonight. We know this is a big one. We clinched the playoff berth, but still, there's still more business to handle at Footprint Center tonight.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate you guys picking me.
Well, absolutely, Jared. We're excited to talk with you a little bit. Tell us about the overall mood of the football team. We clinched a playoff berth just a couple of short days ago, and so now we talked about it off air a little bit. The mindset has to say we got to go on the road if we want to defend our crown, and just talk about the overall mood of the team as you guys begin that quest, and that quest begins tonight.
Yeah, the moves are high right now. We're just staying focused on the task ahead. We still got a game left in the regular season, and we want to finish the season strong. So, we're just trying to keep ourselves level for now. And we know we got a long road ahead of us on the road, and wherever we go, we're prepared to take the steps needed to get to that championship.
That's exactly what I was going to ask you, Jared. How do you keep your mind set on the game tonight and not look ahead toward the playoffs next Saturday?
I mean, we got unfinished business. We've lost to these guys twice now, and this is our third chance to, prove that we can play with the top teams in this league. We've had a little run so far playing some top teams and playing well with them, but we got to show that we can play with the Rattlers, and because it could be the first round game, it could be the semifinal game. We kind of get a taste of what we're going to see in the playoffs.
Jared, how do you feel about the old saying where they say it's it's tough to beat a team twice or even beat them 3 times? And do you feel it's sort of an advantage to be able to play a team a couple times in the season? Because let's face it, if we were to play the Rattlers back-to-back weeks, that football team doesn't change a whole lot in 7 days.
Oh, absolutely. You just get more and more film on them. Everybody gets a feel for how everyone plays. You get the jitters out if you do have them the first time around, and the third time around especially, you're just ready to get that win. Especially the way that we lost the last time. It was a double overtime, lost by 1 point. It just felt like we had it, and we let it slip through our hands. So we got a lot to prove this week tonight for sure.
Jared, should it be the Rattlers in the playoffs, Rattlers in the playoffs? Would there be much of adjustments from 1 week to the next, just depending on how the game shapes out tonight and then how we roll into next weekend? Should it be the Rattlers we play?
I think it'll just be a matter of polishing up the mistakes that we may have had tonight, or as far as film goes, seeing where we lack and where we can make corrections. I don't think it will change too much just because we know each other so well. It'll be the third time we play tonight, and then it'll be the fourth time we play in the playoffs. So you get a lot of familiarity with a team when you're playing them that much.
For you as an offensive player, Jared, having the current special teams player of the week in Connor Mangan, and then you got a really good defense to rely on as well. How does that feel as an offensive player to have those other 2/3 of the football game really kind of taken care of?
The lad, Dropkick Mangan. I mean, the name says it itself. He's a drop kicker. You never really see it, never really hear of it. So it's kind of a weapon that we have, so to say, because that's an extra 2 points every time we score. We're allowed to get 8 points without even doing a 2-point conversion ourselves. So we're grateful for him for sure. And as far as the defense, they've spoken for themselves all season. It's just a matter of polishing things up on the offensive side and matching their intensity, and it'll be really physical games from now on, and that's where we're going to have to start.
Jared, looking back at the Massachusetts game, we talked about how we saw how strong the running game was. You led the team in rushing, had a 32-yard touchdown run. Nick was really strong as well, 35 yards rushing. Brian Wisniewski had 25. Ramad had 22. That's probably going to be one of the keys to victory, I would imagine, tonight, winning that ball, winning the time of possession like the team did against Massachusetts last week, 40 minutes to like 20, keeping Drew Powell and that Rattlers offense off the field. I would imagine that is definitely one of the keys to victory tonight, continuing to keep that running game strong, right?
Oh, absolutely. It shows that the line is putting in a lot of work, that we've been putting in a lot of work with the run game. It hasn't been the best throughout the season, but, you know, we just kept on pushing, stay resilient, and we're showing now late in the season that, you know, we can stay physical and that we can run the ball whenever we want. And just as far as all the skill players that we have, it just shows you how many weapons we have and, you know, what different things we can do on the field. It kind of puts a lot of pressure on the defense when they have to worry about two parts of the game. They can't just sit back and cover the pass because they got to worry about me running the ball, and they can't just have 8 in the box because we're just gonna go deep on you. So it's a real tricky situation for any defense having to guard us.
Jared, any final thoughts on tonight's game as you guys prepare to battle the Rattlers one more time here this evening? And we look forward to, like you said earlier, it's going to be a physical ball game. That they're going to be physical throughout the rest of the way here, as you mentioned, as things get tighter down the stretch. What do you think could be the tipping point in this ball game this evening?
I think the main thing tonight is just being physical. You know, just showing that we're here to play. You know, our record doesn't speak for how talented our team really is and how well coached we are. You know, it's a lot of talented teams in this league. So, you know, when it comes to making mistakes and, you know, being on point, you gotta be 100%. You gotta be all in. You gotta be 100% focused. So it's gonna come down to the physicality tonight. Just making our presence, really, just showing that we are here to play and that it's gonna be a tough 4 seed to play in the playoffs.
And Jared, as a player, how much do you guys look at a playoff seeding, or does it really matter? It's a matter of we got to get into the dance, and then once you get in there, all you need is a shot, right?
Absolutely. I mean, regardless, we're on the road, so it's just a matter of who it's going to be. We're going to pack our bags, and we're going to be ready to play regardless.
Always a pleasure here to visit with athlete extraordinaire for our Northern Arizona Wranglers, Jared Ware Jr. Thank you so much for joining us here on the program. Good luck tonight against those Rattlers. We'll be cheering you on from up in the broadcast booth, and I know for sure you'll hear me yelling, and I know you'll hear Ed as well cheering you guys from up in the booth as well. So enjoy the game tonight. Have fun, and we'll talk to you after the game tonight as well.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys.
Appreciate you, my friend.
So
Thank you, J-Dub.
You ready for the fireworks?
Oh, we are ready. Popcorn ready, fireworks ready. It's all ready tonight inside the Footprint Center. Stay with us here on the Northern Arizona Wranglers pregame show. When we return, we will continue to walk you up to Wranglers and Rattlers.
There's a little piece of magic in the heart of the Verde Valley, where adventure is encouraged. Whether you're whining and dining, rocking and rolling, or pushing and pulling, it's your adventure. Play however you choose.
Who's to say you don't have the skills to reach the top? Who's to say you don't have power?
This is how we do it.
Who's to say you can't own the stage? Who's to say you can't put a team together? Who's to say who's best? The best ever? Or who will be in the future? And with this game-changing team to inspire us, who's to say what's possible for you? Pepsi, play to inspire.
executes, drives, takes his football team down the field. They run the ball almost 150 yards rushing, but then Alejandro Benefiel comes in. He throws 2 touchdown passes. It was 37-14. They tightened it up to 37-32, and things just kind of get tight right there. But then at the end of the day, when it was all said and done, the Wranglers were able to come out, even that record at 7-7, and they are now in the playoffs. Number 4 seed for right now. In a couple of hours, it may move to the number 3 seed, depending on what happens in Tucson and what happens here.
And there are a lot of games that have a lot of implications on top of this game as well. So it's going to be a crazy night of indoor football league action here. And we'll have it covered for you here from the Footprint Center in downtown Phoenix. There you see the field level shot. Once again, we'll go full screen on that. We're waiting for the team to come out here on the field. It should be just a few short minutes away from now. So we'll go ahead and step aside and take a brief commercial timeout and return for more pregame show here on the Wranglers YouTube channel. Stay with us. We'll be back to the Footprint Center in Phoenix.
Buffalo Wild Wings win-win value lineup gives you and your friends more for less. With buy one, get one half off traditional wings every Tuesday. Buy one, get one free boneless wings every Thursday. And $3 tolls every day. Only at Buffalo Wild Wings.
I've got that blue sky. I've got that sunshine.
You got a voice, Molly. Use it. Do it for the phone.
Let's do it for the phone. They do so much for you. When they're out there all alone, there's something we can do. T-Mobile, look at these maps, they don't lie. And faster speeds nationwide. Let's do it for the phone.
If you're struggling to pay your energy bill or know someone who is, we're here to help. Find APS bill assistance programs to reduce your monthly payment or help pay down the bill. Short-term relief like crisis bill assistance can help during a rough patch, while our energy support program can reduce your bill every month. Explore all your assistance options and see if you qualify at aps.com/here to help.
He's back. There, look perfect. We're looking at the Wranglers as they come out on the field. Sheldon Augustine, Nick Watson comes out right there. Here's Jaquan Artis walking on the field. They're getting ready to come out on the field and get ready for battle against the Arizona Rattlers. There's GG, Trayvon Lofton.
Our Monty Carey, Ryan Wisniewski coming out there. You see number 15 ready to get things going as well here this
Kyan
evening.
Smith coming on out there.
There's RCB.
With
Look
the boom
at
box.
these guys getting out and getting ready to go.
Oh,
You'd love to see it there, Ed. How about that field echo of
There's
Coach
Keyshawn,
Moss and
Coach
Keyshawn
Moss.
Walker? And, hey, how about a shout-out to StreamYard? Without them, we couldn't do this for you folks
It's a
right here.
beautiful thing.
Unbelievable.
Coach Moran coming out there. He's ready to go.
Oh, Gigi might have forgot something inside the locker room there. We'll see. As the Wranglers continue to come out on the field here, we mentioned a lot of action around the IFL tonight that will impact our playoff seedings here tonight. But the main thing we got to do is play football here tonight against these Rattlers and take care of business, because we have to control, as we've said a number of times before, we have to control the things we can control.
Exactly. You talked about it in the last segment, and Jared talked about it as well. There's nothing that this football team can do. Let's go to Sioux Falls. Bring that in, JP.
Let's go ahead and take a look at Sioux Falls out there. So we'll go ahead and
They
go
went to a commercial break? Okay.
They went to a commercial. Of course they
Of
did.
course
right
they
on
did.
time, wouldn't they? Of course they go to commercial break. You see we got a little picture-in-picture for you. We got you a look all simultaneously right now. You got a field shot of the entire arena. You got field level where the Wranglers are coming in and out of the locker room. There's Coach Simpson. Gigi's made his way back out of the locker room there. And we got you also here in the broadcast booth. And we got a special treat for you coming up at halftime, folks. Don't forget to join us here. We've got Geraldine Mangan and her son, who is Connor's brother, joining us all the way from Ireland. They made the trip. They're here tonight to watch the football game, and they're going to join us here on the halftime show.
Yeah, and we got a chance to see them. Tucker brought them up. Of course,
Yes.
we were going on the air. We couldn't really speak to them or give them a hug or say anything to them. But
Right.
I'm so excited to meet them and bring them on and just talk to them about Connor. You know, about Miss Geraldine, talked to her about her son, and Connor's brother about his brother, And that's going to be a fun conversation. I'm sure it will be.
What do you think they think about this place right here? I mean, getting to come to their first IFL game. I mean, it's one thing to come to the Finley Toyota Center in Prescott Valley. We love our barn, right? Of course, but you come in here to this place, this is the next level stuff right here, my man.
This is a special arena, special atmosphere, definite home field advantage for the Rattlers because they play very well here. This place gets loud, it gets rocking, and I'm sure Mrs. Mangan and Connor's brother, I'm sure they didn't really take well to the heat. You know, whether it be 113, 117, who would take well coming from Cork, Ireland, where their climate is so much different than what it is here in Phoenix. But I'm excited to chat with them and see how they're doing, and I know their excitement level has got to be through the roof.
Let's go full screen and check in out there in Sioux Falls. We got the Massachusetts Pirates up 23-14 right now over Sioux Falls. That game in the second quarter looks like 13 and a half minutes remaining. Looks like we got the closed caption enabled there for some reason on YouTube. So we'll get that fixed right quick. There we go. And there's you saw a deep pass right there. So we'll do that for you here throughout the evening on our halftime show. And then as well, maybe even a little bit in the post game. And obviously we'll be looking at keeping an eye on some of those playoff scenarios.
Absolutely. We will keep our eyes intently. Well, at least one of our eyes will be intently in Tucson.
Yes.
The other one will be definitely here watching this game. But Green Bay and Tucson, that's a huge game with implications here. Again, should Green Bay win down in Tucson and the Wranglers beat the Rattlers here, the Wranglers would get that number 3 seed. Tucson will fall to the number 4 seed. They would come here next weekend to play the Rattlers, and we will go to San Jose to take on Bay Area.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because there's a lot of things at play here tonight, and it could go either way for this football team. But regardless, the competition is going to be fierce, as we knew, as we come into the playoff season here. So let's get back to that field level shot. And we're about ready to get things going here inside the arena. As you see, about 10 minutes or so remaining until kickoff. We'll take one more short commercial timeout, and we'll walk you right at the kickoff when we return here on the Northern Arizona Wranglers pregame show. Stay with us. James Poovey and Ed Cole back to you from Phoenix after this, as the Wranglers make their way onto the field.
Obviously, we got termites.
Well, the first thing is, you got to know what they're biting on.
Whoa, yeah.
This aged birchwood is perfect for the big ones this time of year.
Oh.
They gobble it up like a candy bar.
Nice.
What's going on?
What?
I told you to hire a pro.
I did get a pro.
An Orkin pro.
I got this.
Got termites? Don't call any pro. Call the Orkin Pro. With over 120 years of experience, nobody's better. Orkin, the best in pests.
You're still paying me for this.
Nope, just relax.
And that's cut. We are clear.
Come on, Playmaker. Why you always got to be so awkward on camera? I would say you make me look bad, but we both know that is entirely impossible.
It was possible back in the day on the football field, that's for sure.
You got to be losing your mind. Somebody roll back these tapes, man. Can somebody get this man some water? He ain't feeling well. Please, somebody.
We'll all feel better when you stop all that trash talk.
Dog, are you serious? Look like you needed some real trash talk. See, this ain't trash. This is recycling, which means it goes in the recycling bin. Schooling you again, Playmaker, as usual.
The only thing you ever schooled me on was how to get away with bad calls. That was embarrassing.
Not as embarrassing as you putting recyclables in the trash can.
When did we start talking about your touchdown dance? That was embarrassing.
You've gone too far. My God.
Like old days. Boy, you know I love you.
Know the difference? Make a difference. Be a team player and recycle. Visit PepsiTrashTalk.com to learn more.
The time is drawing nigh, folks, here in Footprint Center, downtown Phoenix, Arizona. Time for Wranglers and Rattlers Part 4, or Part 3 this season. Looking ahead possibly to Part 4 next weekend, depending on how this thing shakes out and how the game shakes out down in Tucson between Green Bay and the Tucson Sugar Skulls. Yeah, folks, we are here. Week 18 is finally here, and we are about to kick off.
As everyone here in the broadcast booth jumps about a half mile into the air as the cannons go off here inside the Footprint Center. We are sitting right next to Mr. Brett Quintine, all of us in unison, like synchronized. We just right up in the air. No matter how many times you've been here, Ed, it never seems to get you up off the edge of your seat, literally.
And you know what? It never gets stale either. Just the excitement level here. The production team for the Arizona Rattlers is special. It's really They do a fantastic job. Let me turn the camera.
It really is. Yeah, we'll get you a little. There we go. Now you can really see them coming in there. You got
we go.
The flames rolling. The cannons are going off here, and needless to say, as Wrangler fans here on the air, we don't want those to go off any more than they do here in the pregame show tonight, Ed.
Yeah, we if this is about as many times as their explosions go off, that's great. But again, you've got Drew Powell at quarterback, number 1 for the Rattlers. This kid is dynamic. 40 touchdowns, 4 interceptions on the season. He's got 24 rushing touchdowns, so almost 70 touchdowns that Drew has done this year. And there's no coincidence that once he came back in the starting lineup, JP, they've never lost since. They're on a 7-game winning streak. This team is playing its best football going into the playoffs, but that doesn't matter to the Wranglers. They just want to come here, handle business, go back up to Prescott Valley, and then see what happens down in Tucson, and then their playoff fate will be sealed. They'll find out whether they come back here or they get on the bird and go to San Jose next weekend.
Well, you know what, Ed? As good as these Rattlers are, the Wranglers know that they're pretty darn good too, and they're going to come in here and give it all they got here this evening, and they know this team is beyond beatable, and they're going to come in here tonight and really just play their brand of football and let the chips fall where they may.
Yeah, the brand has got to be smart football.
Yes.
Turnover, mistakes will be made, of course, folks. These men are athletes. They're a lot of times we think they're superhuman, but they're humans just like we are. They make mistakes, but the mistakes that you make, try to make as the least amount of mistakes compared to the other team.
Yes, you try to keep the stakes to a minimum, and then as we talk about all the time, when that other team does make a mistake, how can you capitalize on said mistake?
Exactly. Take full advantage of the mistakes, because when you get them, that's an extra possession for you. And we know possessions in this league are at a premium. Every time you get the football, you've got to drive the football down there and hopefully get a score. And the defense, if they can play like they played last week against Anthony Russo and those Massachusetts Pirates, we know, granted, Drew Powell's a totally different animal than Anthony Russo, because this kid is special. But the defense has got to play lights out tonight if they expect to get a victory.
They do indeed. We're about ready for kickoff here inside the Footprint Center in downtown Phoenix, Arizona. We're going to encourage you now to jump on over to the IFL Digital Network on YouTube and tune into tonight's broadcast here in just a minute. We're going to go ahead and go field level one more time for tonight's national anthem. An absolutely phenomenal rendition of our Star Spangled Banner here inside the Footprint Center tonight. Once again, we encourage you to get yourself on over to the IFL Digital Network for the call of tonight's game with Mr. Floyd Simmons and Dale Hellestray on the call for the Arizona Rattlers. Ed, as we sign off here and encourage folks to once again come back and join us at halftime for what should be a very fun halftime show. We'll have Miss Geraldine Mangan and her son on here with us. We're looking forward to that. Any final thoughts, my man, before we kick it off here?
Started off fast. Defense has got to play strong. Whoever starts, they've got to drive the offense down the field. Drop kick Mangan when he gets opportunities for drop kicks, deuces, field goals, whatever. He's got to execute. He's got to knock them down like he did last week against Massachusetts.
Absolutely right. Make sure and stay tuned and make sure and come back here at halftime. We'll have a halftime show for you as well as the postgame show right here on the Wranglers YouTube channel. Get on over to the IFL Digital Network and enjoy tonight's game. And as we always say, go Wranglers.
Go Wranglers.
We'll see you again at halftime.